871.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
This is the Slate, presented by VIP Play.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
I should explain to you exactly what it is that I do.
This is like the luck of the Irish, only I'm not Irish.
Changing 500. I think I want my money back.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Welcome in live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. It's the Slate, presented by VIP Play. With Max Pennell and Tyler Barbaras, I'm William Pattison. We appreciate you listening along with us on this Max Monday from K-Town. Hope everyone had a great weekend out there. Happy to be back in the studio. Plenty to cover today, including Tennessee's game-by-game spreads breakdown, Tennessee and their whole season breakdown, courtesy of VIP Play, the only place that you can bet on every Tennessee game right now on the betting market. And we'll dive into every game. We'll talk about which spread stands out the most at the current moment. Do these spreads accurately depict Tennessee's season this upcoming year? Plenty to talk about. We'll also have some good table discussion. As always, we'll have our best bets for the night. But we'll begin today with our best bets recap, as we always do. But before that, let's welcome in the rest of the crew, beginning with Max. Max, how are you on this Max Monday?
Yeah, doing well. You know, we have a football game this week, so that means, you know, the time is near where the calendar's going to flip to August here on Thursday, I believe, Thursday or Friday. So we're getting closer to football season. As much as I love baseball, it is exciting that football is right around the corner, and excited to talk about Tennessee's upcoming season with you guys.
Tyler, how are you? Welcome back.
Thank you.
Fun trip this weekend?
Yeah, great trip. Hung out. Watched Happy Gilmore 2.
Okay. Do you like it?
Got to watch it again in order to really, really process my thoughts. It definitely wasn't better than the original one, but it's a sequel. I mean, made 20 years after the first one. I think everyone expected it to, you know, not deliver the same way that the OG one did. But for movies like that, I just look for entertainment. It provided me a sense of entertainment. And that was nice. MLB trade deadline is on Thursday, so I've been monitoring that. Like Max said, just waiting for NFL season to start. Super pumped about that. And, yeah, just happy to be here. Happy to talk about some sports with y'all.
There you go. All right, let's dive into our best bets recap about this weekend. And let's send it over to Max. 5-2 last week, a very, very strong weekend. Or I guess a very, very strong week it was for him. We'll recap Friday, but we'll more so highlight what was a really strong week for Max.
Yeah, the clock struck midnight on Friday, unfortunately, went 0-2. I blame John Reed for finally tailing one of my picks, and of course it's, you know, breaks the streak of 5 in a row. But yeah, 5-2 week, we'll take it. 23-18-1 on the program, so we're above 500, keeping our heads above water. Got 2 plays coming your guys' way later in the program tonight, both on baseball, obviously. Hoping to, can we get another 5-0 start 2 week? Well, you got to start 2-0 to start 5-0. So excited to give you guys some more winners, hopefully, tonight, and build on a strong week last week.
Well, we'll stay on the topic of the MLB as the American League MVP has been Aaron Judge's to lose for pretty much the entire 2025 season. However, when he landed on the injury list over the weekend, the odds flipped in Cal Raleigh's favor for the first time all year. Now, Judge, who has already won MVP in 2022 and 2024, leads all of baseball in every major slash category, including a .342 batting average, a .449 on base percentage, and a .711 slugging percentage, and a comical 1.160 OPS. And he's also second in the AL in home runs with 37 and RBIs with 85. And those stats may not be enough if Judge misses significant time with a flexor strain in his right elbow. He's expected to return this season, and there is even some optimism he will be able to return as soon as the minimum 10-day stint on the IL passes, but nothing is yet confirmed. And we'll switch over to VIP play to consider maybe some other options for the AL MVP if Judge begins to miss significant time and slides down, because this is the time right now. If you're trying to get good value, this is where you get it before, the time is missed, before the news breaks, and he might miss more time. So we'll turn to the futures here. I'm going to pull it up via the VIP Play app. And when we look at the the American League MVP, right now, Cal Raleigh minus 130. Aaron Judge still a favorite per se at minus 106. And then you go down the list and you get some pretty extreme odds here. Tariq Skubal at plus 5,000. Jose Ramirez at plus 7,500. Bobby Witt Jr. at plus 10,000. A couple of flyers right there. But is Cal Raleigh worth the bet right now? We'll swing it over Max. Max, where do you land on this?
Yeah, so I actually, William, I just sent you a text. That was a text I sent out late Friday night. I got told that Aaron Judge was going to be injured. Wasn't sure the exact severity, but that it was not good. And at that moment, Cal Raleigh was plus 370. So unfortunately, I did not take it.
Oh, wow.
It was late in the night, and I didn't want to overreact, but really wish I had now, because obviously that was a big shift in odds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a reason he's the favorite now. Now, I think Judge will probably only miss, 10 days or 2 weeks. I don't think it's going to be something that you can swing a bat. The problem for him now is, can he throw the ball? He's probably not going to be able to play right field, at least right away. Maybe they ease him back into it late in September, October. And that's going to hurt his value, because a strictly DH, you accumulate less WAR, you have less of an impact, obviously, but the counting stats will still be there for Judge. So it's going to be a situation of, do the voters weigh, and catcher, for those that aren't diehard baseball fans, Cal Raleigh having the year he's had is probably a top 3, if it continues at this pace, offensive season for a catcher of all time. It is the hardest position to also be a good hitter at, because you have so much more on your plate than every other fielder / batter on the roster.
Sure.
So what he's doing is historic. Now, what Aaron Judge is doing is also historic. So my thing with this is, if Judge misses 2 weeks, is he really going to lose that many counting stats? But will the voters knock him for playing DH for 2 months compared to Cal Raleigh playing the most demanding defensive position on the diamond? I think Cal Raleigh at minus 130 is, I think right now, if you think the voter, like if you're confident Cal Raleigh can win it, whether Judge comes back in 2 weeks or in a month, you take it right now. Because if it gets announced a week or two from now, yeah, Judge has had a setback, or he can only play every other day right away, then those odds are going to increase even more, because Cal Raleigh is playing every day. So I think right now, if you're confident Raleigh can win it, you take it now, as opposed to waiting and possibly there being worse news on Judge and those odds change. Meanwhile, if you're someone that I was of the belief until the injury that Aaron Judge should and would be the MVP. He's batting 345. He's a 5-tool player. He's doing everything. He's carrying that team. He's having a historic season. But if you're confident that, hey, he's only going to miss 10 games, he's going to miss, 2 weeks, whatever it may be, and he's so far ahead offensively and counting stats that's enough, then I think plus 100 is decent value. It's kind of the belief of, if you take out Aaron Judge for 2 weeks, who would you give your vote to? And if you give your vote to Cal Raleigh, you take it now because those odds could change. And if you would still give your vote to Aaron Judge, you take it now because those odds could also change if you get better news on his front.
Yeah.
But right now, I think Raleigh is worth a play at -130 because I think there's a better chance those odds get worse, to -200 than they do to plus odds again. So that's my view of it. I think if you can look at it both ways. Right now, I'd probably lean Raleigh, especially because of the catcher aspect. And now the voters kind of have an excuse to not vote for Judge, possibly. There could be a little bit of voter fatigue there. Sure. He's won multiple MVPs. And if you wanted a flyer, I think Jose Ramirez, if you were just, hey, Judge is hurt, maybe Raleigh gets hurt, and I want to have a lottery ticket. He's a guy that feels like he's owed an MVP that hasn't gotten it yet. He's had so many good seasons, have another one this year. And if he could somehow catapult that Cleveland team to a really late push to the playoffs or division title, the voters, might be like, well, if we got to give it to someone, both these guys have been hurt. We kind of owe Ramirez. He's had so many good years, but I'd lean Raleigh right now.
Okay, Tyler.
Voter fatigue, I feel like in MLB hasn't fully plagued the league yet, as like in the same way that it has the NFL and the NBA. But where I'm at with this is like Aaron Judge is the greatest hitter since Barry Bonds. And I mean, the numbers show that. I mean, he gets on base half the time he's in the batter's box. That's absurd. Has the most he was walked at the highest, or he has the most intentional walks in the MLB. I mean, this is a guy that pitchers fear of throwing to. My thing is, if Cal Raleigh, right, his numbers that he's at right now, they're phenomenal. And I completely agree with Max that he's having a top 3 catcher season of all time. 986 OPS, 618 slug, 368 on base, leads the league, or is second in home runs in the league. But if Cal doesn't raise his level of play, like from what he's playing at now, it'll be hard to catch up to that. Because if Cal, over the next 2 weeks has a very respectable like OPS of like 820 to 850, hits 2 home runs, drives in maybe like 5 RBIs, like that's a really damn good 10-day stretch. But your numbers overall are still declining because the bar is set so high with your 986 OPS. With the Judge, it's like when he comes back, like his numbers haven't really dipped all season. Like they've always been in the, 1,100 to like 1,200 OPS area. When Judge comes back, he's going to continue that because the injury isn't going to, hurt him from, just hitting the piss out the baseball. But with Cal, I think this is the time when he has to go on an absolute heater, more of a heater than he's, been on right now and for the whole season. But he's got to get to a level of play that we haven't seen from him yet in order for him to have, a chance to walk away with this MVP over the course of the next 10 to 15 days that Judge is out. He really has to elevate his play there. If he doesn't do that, he has a 10 to 15-day stretch where his numbers aren't as good as his overall season numbers. Judge is going to come back. The voters for the MVP are going to be like, all right, he misses 2 weeks, but he still leads the league in OPS and slugging and on-base percentage and batting average. Like, still has 37 home runs. He's probably going to end with 45 homers and 110 RBIs. I mean, are we really going to discredit that to give Cal Raleigh his first MVP and an MVP that is going to be very, very controversial just because Aaron Judge missed 10 games?
Yeah.
It's a tricky situation. And the fact that Judge is at -106 when he was at what, like -550, -600 on other books. If you go out 10 days and they want to discredit what Judge has done over the course of this whole season, I think that taking Aaron Judge at -106 is like the only legitimate play, unless, like what Max said, you're just so insanely confident that Cal Raleigh can improve his level of play. But that's going to be really hard for a guy that, in his career has like a 770 OPS. Like, if this is the Cal Raleigh that we're going to see for the next 2, 3, 4 years, then it's expected from him from here on out. But he has to increase his level of play in order to have a chance at this. Because when Judge comes back, he's going to pick up right where he left off. So right now, value-wise, Judge at, near like +100 odds at -106 is just too good for me to pass up on. But a wild card that I really like is Tarek Skubal. I mean, he won Cy Young last year in the AL. He's pitched 133 innings and has a 3% walk rate. I mean, this is just a guy that is genuinely the next Randy Johnson. And this guy is so damn good. I saw a tweet earlier like, Garrett Crochet versus Tarek Skubal, who's going to win? Skubal's the best pitcher in baseball. He's the best pitcher in baseball.
That's a hilariously bad take from Tyler. Look up,
we'll talk about this another
Paul
time.
Skeens
We'll talk
Tarek
about
Skubal.
this another time, but Tarek Skubal's the best pitcher in baseball. And I think that, his value at plus 7,000 on VIP play is certainly worth the value because the fact that, the Tigers are a top team in the AL right now. So I'm leaning Judge. If you want a flyer, take Skubal. Skubal's the best pitcher in baseball, Max.
Max is beyond himself over here. Max, what
it's just I want to be different, so I'm going to say this because everyone says Paul Skeens is the best, so I have to be different.
No, it's not. It's not.
I don't want to take, subject the listeners to this idiocy. But one guy is 23 and is better than the guy that's 28 has having a better season than the guy that's 28 has ever had, and he's 23. This guy that's 28 that he says the best pitcher also had a 5 ERA when he was 23.
It doesn't
this
matter.
Guy's already better.
I'm saying the best
start to a career in MLB history. No one's ever had a lower ERA through the first 45 starts. He has a 1.83 ERA. What Skubal's in the 2.3s? This is so silly. You just want to be different because everyone knows it's Skeens. So it's like saying Josh Allen's better than Mahomes. Come on, man.
That's how you want to take it, sure. But I mean, we don't have time to get into the whole Skeens thing unless we do. William, up to you.
Well, I mean, all right, we're up against the break already. We'll come back with some MLB plays and we will table this discussion.
We'll take it off air.
Yeah, we'll continue it here in a little bit. Stay right here. It's the Slate presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
The flagship station for Tennessee fans. This is Fan Run Radio.
Yo, 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 what is up with it, homies? Talk sports. That's the show you want. It's the longest running sports radio morning show in town. You want your radio shows to be fun, and that's what Talk Sports is. Fun, fun, fun. No weirdo callers. I like Tennessee. Gonna go 6-6 this year. No nerdy guests. Well, their receiver depth is a little bit thin. Just two of the most and Bubba giving you what you need. Tune in 7 to 10 a.m. every weekday here on Fan Run Radio.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing. A lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Rickard Ridge Barbecue, located in beautiful Cove Lake State Park. Rickard Ridge is home of the best ribs in the Volunteer State. Smoked daily by Pitmaster Mark Rickard. The barbecue at Rickard Ridge is mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone delicious. Take the scenic drive up I-74. For directions and to look at the rest of the menu, visit Rickard Ridge online at rickardridgebbq.com.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Hey Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka made with real brewed tea is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka. Sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka. Sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Are you looking for a treat that will knock it out of the park at the next watch party? Just like your favorite baseball team, Crumble brings the best lineup week to week with an expanded roster that includes key lime pie, strawberry cake, or my personal favorite, Monster featuring M&M candies. Let Crumble treat you to the best cookies in the game. Download the Crumble app and start earning rewards. You can even vote monthly on what flavors you would like to see at any store of your choice. Warmer weather is here, so get to the ballpark, but don't miss the cookie. All right, back here on the Slate presented by VIP Play. We appreciate you hanging out with us on this Monday. Time for our best bets of the night presented by VIP Play. Go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. When you make your first bet of $5 or more, you'll get $100 instantly in bonus bets by using the code FANRUN. That's FANRUN in all caps. And new and more convenient deposit and withdrawal methods are coming soon. So the next VIP Play app update will continue to upgrade the betting experience on the app. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. Swing it over to Max for Max Out Your Winnings. Max, what you got tonight?
Yeah, we got two plays. First one is starting a little after 7 o'clock. Going to back I guess you can't call him a VFL, but a former Tennessee Volunteer in Chase Burns tonight, the flame-throwing righty, making his 6th career start. Now, it hasn't been a great start to his career in terms of run prevention for him, but the stuff has certainly played, and the strikeouts have been racked up by Chase Burns. In 21 innings, he has 35 strikeouts. I'm taking him over 6.5 strikeouts tonight at plus odds as well. I believe it's plus 110 last I checked. He had a really, really bad start against Boston where he only got 1 out and then was removed, lit up for 5 runs. They believed he was tipping his pitches. Outside of that, his other 4 starts, he's gone 8 strikeouts, 7 strikeouts, and then his last 2 have been 10 in both starts. So the strikeout volume is there, and that he's not having to pitch super deep into games to rack those up either. And then you also take in to affect the offense he's going against, and it's the Dodgers. And now you'd say, the Dodgers are one of the best, teams in baseball, one of the best hitting teams in baseball. Yeah, but they strike out a good bit. Garrett Crochet racked up 10 strikeouts against them on Saturday. They have a strikeout rate of 8.35, so basically 1 an inning. And then you couple that with the fact that Burns is a guy that's been striking out, basically 13 per 9. I just think those numbers add up to where if he can go, pitch into the 6th inning probably, I think he's going to average at least a strikeout per inning against this offense that is very prone to the strikeout. He just needs to avoid a blow-up inning or 2 that really drives that pitch count up and knocks him out early. If he can get into the 6th inning, I feel confident he'll get the 7+ strikeouts. So Chase Burns, the, former Tennessee Volunteer, over 6.5 strikeouts for the Reds tonight against the Dodgers. And then secondly, we're going to go to Kansas City, Braves-Royals. Under 9.5. It's Spencer Strider, the Braves' best and really only remaining starting pitcher. I mean, they've been decimated. Their entire opening day rotation is now on the shelf, which is crazy. But Strider has been really good, especially as of late. He's come on strong and really delivered some good performances for Atlanta. And he's opposed by Rich Hill. Now, Rich Hill is 45 years old, I think, and he had an okay start at his season debut against the Cubs, which is the best offense in the major leagues. He's crafty. They're just going to ask 5 innings from him. These are both offenses that have really scuffled, especially Kansas City's. It's the 2nd worst offense in terms of run scoring in the major leagues. I think Spencer Strider holds them to 2 or less runs, and then Rich Hill does enough on his part, maybe 5 innings, 3 runs, 6 innings, 3 runs. To me, this line is just a little too high considering the offenses and Strider pitching for Atlanta. I think this should be closer to 8, 8.5. So I'm backing the under here at 9.5. So Chase Burns over 6.5 strikeouts, Braves Royals under 9.5. Let's start the week 2-0.
All right, Tyler, what you got?
Max just said that he thinks, Spencer Strider is going to have, 2 earned run baseball, and I agree with it.
Oh, there
I
you
agree
go.
with it. I got Spencer Strider under 2.5 earned runs. I did not see it on VIP Play, but you can get it on a lot of other sports books. Minus 135 is the best odds that I've seen. Adding on to what Max was saying about the Royals offense, they've been a little bit better as of late, but, they're not an intimidating group as a whole. They're 28th in WRC plus on the year against righties. The Royals have a majority of right-hand bats in their lineup today, and their best bats on the team obviously being righties, and Bobby Witt, Salvador Perez, and others. This Royals team has very little experience against Strider, which I also think will help Spencer with his, plus stuff as a starting pitcher, cruise through his first time facing their batting order. And, Kauffman Stadium is a pitcher-friendly park. They're playing in Kansas City. Pitchers seem to pitch better there than they do, or their pitchers seem to pitch better at home than they do on the road, that being Kansas City starting pitchers. So hoping that Strider, with the momentum that he's had recently, the Braves are kind of relying on him to get back to that Cy Young form that we saw from him 2 seasons ago. I think this is a really good spot here. Under 2.5 earned runs at -135 is my first bet of the day. We're going to go a little bit up north to Milwaukee. Got 2 plays in this game. First play being Brewers Cubs, first 5 under 4.5. The odds are -148 on VIP play. If you want, you can do the under 4. And on a lot of other sportsbook, this line is set at 4, so you can get better odds there. But it's Matthew Boyd versus the Miz, Jacob Misiorowski, I think is how you pronounce his last name. Boyd, 2.2 ERA this year. Miz has a 2.5 ERA this year. 2 really, really good pitchers. Misiorowski has been one of the most electric pitchers in baseball this season since coming up, especially when he's at home. In 3 starts at home this season, he has a 3-0 record, supporting an absurd 0.56 ERA. That's unbelievable. Don't know what it is. Maybe he just likes the Milwaukee air, but he pitches much better when he's at home. In this game, obviously being in Milwaukee. Boyd, he's in the 99th percentile for outs recorded per game, which gives me hope that he can have a clean 5-inning outing. The over-under on this game total is at 8, which indicates 2 things. One, the bullpens may be a reason that this game could go over, with obviously the Cubs bullpen not being too strong and the Brewers having a little bit of bullpen issues there recently. And 2, the starters are just so damn good that it'll be a very low-scoring affair, which is why I'm leaning on the first 5 under 4.5, just because, I don't want it to get to a point where I'm sweating it out and relying on bullpen arms that I've never heard of to, close this bet for me. So Brewers Cubs, first 5 under 4.5 total runs at -148. Staying in this game, it's Nerfy time.
There you go.
Haven't had a Nerfy in a while. Figured I'd go back to the well here. Cubs Brewers Nerfy -140. Like I said, I kind of gave my thoughts on the under. 2 really, really good pitchers, but when I'm looking at the Nerfy, analytics and statistics here, Boyd, he's 15-5 on Nerfies this season, and he's on a 5-game Nerfy streak right now. He's been fantastic in those 5 games, allowing 2 earned runs total over 33 innings. And then the Brewers bats, they're still streaking in a bad way as far as Nerfies go, with a 10-0 Nerfy record over their last 10 games. Seems like the 1-2-3 Brewers top of the order can't generate any sort of early runs in that first inning. So I'm relying on Boyd here to, give me something there, just continue his trend. And I'm depending on a rookie pitcher who has been phenomenal this season just to, limit the damage and try and get 3 clean outs. So I like the analytics here. But to recap, got Spencer Strider under 2.5 earned runs at -135. I got the Brewers and Cubs first 5 under 4.5 at -148. And I got Cubs Brewers Nerfy at -140. I had a 3-1 week last week, so hoping to, stand at green. Hopefully we start off with a 3-0 sweep, 2-1. I'll be more than happy with that as well.
All right, good stuff. That is tonight's slate presented by VIP Play. Live always, 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, and options. Have a bet in mind that you cannot find on any other sports book. The VIP Play team will create it for you. Check the specials page daily for bets you cannot find anywhere else in Tennessee. And also, keep an eye out for those boosts. Some MLB boosts, a great opportunity to max out your winnings or take Tyler's ticket and get about 15, 20% extra on your bets. So make sure you're doing that. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. And make sure you're using the code FANRUN. FANRUN, all caps, to claim $100 in bonus bets. Tyler, you raised your hand like we're in class. What do you need?
I want to be respectful. I can't scream at you anymore because of this glass here, but Nick Kurtz hit 4 home runs over the weekend in a single game. If you want to just continue to tail his hot bat, I was looking at that as well. I think him to hit a home run today is plus 290, like those odds as well. If you want to, just tail the guy who's the hottest hitter in baseball right now, that being Nick Kurtz. Just wanted to say that out there and show some, respect for something that has only been done 20 times in MLB history, 4 homers in a game.
Okay, before we get to Tennessee football and going down the list of spreads that are already out there courtesy of VIP Play, I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds each to talk about your debate here. We're on after this passes, we're not going to have another opportunity to talk MLB because we're getting back to business, but 30 seconds apiece. Tyler, give your point. I'll let Max respond, and then that will be that.
Sure. Skubal this season, 171 strikeouts, higher K rate, is walking significantly less batters. I think when you're on a championship contending team, not letting guys get on base where you have to depend on your defense to make a play or to turn a double play is way more valuable. On top of that, Skubal's been doing this for the past, 2 years. He has had injury concerns, but the way that he's just been spinning the baseball for the past year and a half has been nothing but spectacular. Not trying to knock Skeens here, but when I look at the advanced metrics, it's just Skubal's better in all those categories. However, Skeens in one day, once he gets a better team around him, he's going to win like 3 straight Cy Youngs, no doubt. But right now, I'm giving it to Tarek Skubal, the guy that is the conductor on the train that are the Detroit Tigers this season.
So holding the talent of 24 other guys in the roster against a starting pitcher is one of the dumbest reasonings I've ever heard for a pitcher's the best. Is Max Fried better than Paul Skeens because he plays in the Yankees? No, that is so stupid.
I didn't say that.
You're saying when he gets a better team around him, he has no control of that. You know what he can't control? How many runs he gives up. And guess who gives up less runs per game? The pitcher's job, Paul Skeens. And he did it last year and this year. Almost a half a run better both seasons as well. And then you also want to talk about, he lets more guys on base via walk. Actually, the lowest opponent batting average, which is getting on base, of any pitcher in baseball this year is Paul Skeens. It's actually the best for any pitcher through 45 career starts to begin his career. He's never given up more than 6 hits in a game this season. Skubal's on that 4 in his career, actually. Skubal's on that 4 times this season. And he has a higher WAR than Tarek Skubal this season, which measures his individual impact on his team. So that's that. The guy has a career 1.89 ERA. This is a silly argument. Tarek Skubal is great. He's the second best pitcher in baseball. There's nothing that says he's actually better. Just because he strikes out a few more guys, you can have your strikeouts. I'd rather have less hits. That's me. I think any manager would sign up for that.
I'd rather have more wins. But
all right.
That is so silly.
Okay.
Silly. It's not 1972.
Just saying, I'd rather have a pitcher frontlining.
All right, you've gone over your time. You've gone over your time. All right, let's switch over now.
I can't wait to clip that and put it on the internet and show the ignorance.
All right, so let's switch over now to Tennessee football, where VIP Play exclusively gives you the opportunity to bet on all 12 of Tennessee's regular season games right now. There's not another sports book that allows you to do that other than VIP Play. Make sure you're using the code FANRUN to claim $100 in bonus bets and have an opportunity to get in on the action. Right now on VIP Play, Tennessee, a 13.5-point favorite against Syracuse. Some other notable games. The home opener, minus 48.5 against ETSU. Georgia and the SEC home opener, plus 7.5 are the Volunteers up against the Dogs. Plus 11.5 at Alabama, one of the big road games of the season for Tennessee. Currently minus 3.5 versus Oklahoma and what should be a top 25 matchup inside Neyland Stadium. Plus 2.5 at Florida in the final road trip of the season for the Volunteers. Which spread right now stands out to you guys the most? And look, this is going to be a little bit of a different angle I'm going to come at here, but I'm going to say Syracuse at minus 13.5 at right now is one of the more surprising ones because that's showing the amount of respect that the books are giving Tennessee's defense and Joey Aguilar or Jake Merklinger in game one. a lot of people are thinking that Syracuse is going to be some great team. I don't believe they are. I think this is going to be more of a 14, 20-point win for the Volunteers. But right now, you can get good value on VIP play with that spread. But I think what a lot of people might be looking over here is the respect that Tennessee is being given by the books. 7.5 against Georgia right now. Tennessee has not lost by more than, Tennessee has lost by more than double digits every time Tennessee and Georgia have played over the last 8 years. And this spread's under 10. This is a 7-point game. This is a one-possession game. That's a lot of respect. Alabama, a tough place to go play on the road. But keep in mind, last time Tennessee went there with a much more established quarterback, with a much better offense, they lost by more than 10 points. So, what I'm saying here is I think the respect that you're seeing on the books is representative of the people that actually follow Tennessee and know a lot about this team. There's a lot of publicity right now. Oh, my gosh, Joey Aguilar, the guy from Appalachian State, or Jake Merklinger, the guy that hasn't been able to play in the 2 years he's been there. How are those guys going to be good? And, everyone's leaving Knoxville. What's going down? And, everyone keeps on saying, at least the comments, the little Kentucky fans, they keep on saying, what's going on in Dollywood? They're all trolling here. But I think what these numbers show you, folks, is that Tennessee does have a lot of respect on the books. And Syracuse, a team that a lot of people have been propping up in this matchup, particularly a 14-point spread without even having seen who your starter is going to be, with losing a ton of production on both sides of the ball. I think respect is what stands out to me the most when I look at that Syracuse and Georgia game as two examples of that. Max, when you look at this spread, really, probably a poor word to use, as there are a lot of different spreads. As you look at these spreads, I should say plural, what stands out to you the most?
Yeah, I think week one certainly jumps off the page for me like it did for you, kind of just because of the uncertainty surrounding Tennessee. And I think week one is always a weird gambling week in general. A lot of times for me, I'll look back in late October and be like, man, why was that team favored by this much? Or why was the spread only that? Because we have these preconceived notions about different teams. NC State last year is a great example.
Yeah.
People thought they were going to be a, competitive top 20-ish team. Their quarterback gets hurt, didn't play well, retires in week 3. Not sure I've ever seen that in college football before. And they weren't a good team. They scratched and clawed to bowl eligibility. But that spread reflected a preseason notion of NC State that was inaccurate.
Yeah.
So that's one thing for me with Syracuse. I think there's a real chance we look back kind of like that NC State game and be like, really? We were only 13 and a half point favorites in that?
Yeah.
Or you could do the opposite. You can say, man, Syracuse is way better than people thought.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked they were, giving them 14 in Atlanta. So that is the week one, especially when it's a Power 5 versus Power 5 game, is always kind of interesting to look back on later in the season. And see if Vegas was right. Who were they off on? Which team? So yeah, you're right. They clearly respect and value Tennessee here. And I think that is, yes, obviously it's a different quarterback and Nico is hyped more than Aguilar, but I think some of that's rooted in last season and the Milton season where the floors were still very high for those teams. The quarterback play wasn't elite. I'm not saying Aguilar will be as good as them, but the quarterback, we weren't getting all SEC caliber quarterback play to make the playoffs last year and then the year before, be a top 25 team. So I think they kind of have this, this baked in floor that is much higher, that it's okay. Tennessee will be better than Arkansas, regardless of who their quarterback is, because Heupel's found a way to do that. Tennessee should be 9.5 point favorites at Kentucky because they found a way to beat them through multiple quarterback regimes and maybe not the best rosters under Heupel. So I think a lot of it just shows a respect for Josh Heupel specifically and the program and the stability he's brought to this program where, hey, Aguilar could be the quarterback. They'll probably still win 8 games. We're not going to forecast them to have some big drastic fall off unless we actually see it play out. So that's kind of what it says to me is they have a respect and an appreciation for Josh Heupel and the floor that he has built here at Tennessee, and that's reflected in some of these lines, especially one to me, Kentucky on the road being 9.5.
Yeah.
Arkansas being a 10.5 point favorite home. If you thought Tennessee was going to really regress, I don't think those lines would be as large as they are.
Sure. Tyler.
I feel like with the Syracuse game, this is a Tennessee team that, in my time being a student here, they've always kind of handled their business in those, week 1, week 2, Power 5 matchups, NC State, Virginia. they always seem to cover that spread, which is maybe why the VIP play odds makers are like, all right, Tennessee, has a trend of just being a better coach team. They have a better defense. And this is why we ultimately think that, they're 2 touchdowns better than Syracuse. I don't know how good of a football team Syracuse is going to be this year, but I feel like I can confidently say they're not going to be better than Tennessee. So I can understand giving us the, 14 points there. However, the first week of the season, in my opinion, is always the most important because it's a time that you get to see, like, all right, who belongs here, who fits in, who deserves to be here. And I've been talking about this forever, about like the Joey Aguilar situation. It's like week 3 against Georgia is going to be like the biggest test for this quarterback room to see who can like carry the load for us all season long. But for me, it's the +2.5 that we're getting at Florida.
Okay.
And William, I know that this is a Florida team that you're really high on.
Yeah.
I mean, you love their defense. You think Lagway could be a Heisman candidate. To say that they expect us to, only lose by like a field goal is very, very generous in my opinion, considering the track record that, Heupel has and Tennessee as a whole university has when playing in Gainesville at the Swamp. It's always a tough battle for Tennessee. And like, I don't even think 2 years ago when we went there last time, when we had Joe Milton, I mean, were we favorites?
Tennessee was favored. I think it was a 4.5 or 3.5 point spread. It was concerning considering where Florida was at the time. They'd already come off, I think, 1 or 2 losses.
Right.
Early
Utah. Was that the year they lost them early?
That was the one they got smashed on the road at Utah. And
I thought it was when Anthony Richardson was there.
No, Richardson
They played Utah back-to-back years.
Yeah,
though.
Utah back-to-back years. The year they had Richardson, they beat Utah in the Swamp,
Right.
and Utah was a top 10 team at the time. But then that year, specifically when Joe Milton was playing for Tennessee as their starter, they went on the road to Utah, got smashed, and then
Cam Rising, year 7.
Yeah, almost had a year 8 and year 9 of him too. But that's a story for another day. But continue, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean Florida at +2.5. I mean, I'm confident in this Tennessee team, and I've been saying like all year that I think the floor is high, but the ceiling isn't. This is a game that at Florida I think could be like the most pivotal win this season because I think it means more going into next season too. Like when you're building that core again, once you get Faison Brandon, once you get your top 10 recruiting class, but for us to only be 2.5 point underdogs at Florida, either the VIP odds makers are biased with their vols or they just don't think Florida's going to be that good. If I were to, make a line like this, I would give Florida a touchdown advantage over us, maybe 5.5, a touchdown and an extra point, or just 6 points straight up. That's probably where I would go. But other games, Kentucky -9.5.
Yeah.
And Georgia only being -7.5. This is a team that has just put belt to us like consistently every damn year. To think that, we're a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away from, covering or not covering from winning outright is it makes me feel better about that matchup, especially too because it's so early into the season and it's at home. I think that's why you see us being -7.5, strictly because we're at home. If we were on the road, I think that doubles, maybe even triples to where it's at like -18.5, -19.5. But those are probably the 3 games that I have circled. Super interested to see, how it goes. And if they do change as well, once we start to have our identity of like who we're going to have starting at all these spots and all that good stuff. So yeah, can't wait for football season.
The spreads seem to accurately depict how many people envision Tennessee's season going. Favorites in 9 games, underdogs in 3, with a couple of games possibly being toss-ups. Florida +2.5 on the road. Oklahoma only -3.5 as a favorite are the Volunteers at home. And then Georgia +7.5, Alabama +11.5, and Bryant-Denny. I feel like the spreads are pretty accurate here. I think, again, going back to what I said previously, I think this is an accurate representation of what the Volunteers will look like this season. And also the books are giving them the respect that I think many think they should get, at least around here, where you're going to have really solid all SEC players defensively at all three levels. Jeremiah McCoy and Arian Carter down to a Joshua Josephs. Offensively, you got some things to figure out, but for being real, last season's offense was not good, and that defense was what carried the weight, and I feel like it will have to do that once again this year, but you've got a lot of key pieces at all three levels that will be able to help you do that. And defense against some of these teams like a Syracuse and a Mississippi State and Arkansas will be enough. But in these toss-up games, your offense is going to have to be maybe not near the level as elite you are defensively, but they're going to have to carry some of the weight. And I think that's what really shapes out about this season for Tennessee. Pretty accurate demonstration of what many people, at least in Knoxville, think this team can be this upcoming year. When we come back, we'll give our best bets of the night. Stay right here. It's the Slate, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
Follow us on Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it these days at Fox Sports Knox. Fox Sports.
For the best bets of the night, presented by VIP Play. Make sure you go Claim your bonus bets on the app by using the code FANRUN. That is FANRUN in all caps. When you create your account, you'll be given $100 instantly in bonus bets, and you have the opportunity to bet on every single Tennessee football game right now. The only app in Tennessee that you can do that on. We'll swing it over to Max for Max Out Your Winnings. Max, what you got tonight?
Yeah, trying to build on last week's 5-2 week. We got 2 plays tonight. First one starts at 7:10. It's in the Queen City of Cincinnati. Chase Burns, former Tennessee Volunteer pitcher, over 6.5 strikeouts against the Dodgers. Dodgers lineup that is prone to the strikeout despite all the big names in it. And Chase Burns has been racking up Ks at an alarming rate, really, through his first 5 starts. 35 strikeouts in 21 innings. He's gone over this number in 4 of his 5 career starts, banking on him to continue that trend against the Dodgers tonight. Follow that with a Braves-Royals under, which that game begins, I believe, at 7:40 Eastern. Spencer Strider versus Rich Hill, old versus new. Rich Hill now playing for his record 14th MLB team. You can't get rid of the guy. He's a cockroach, basically. But Spencer Strider against the second worst offense in baseball, to me, bodes well for an under. Rich Hill, he was okay in his start against the best offense of the Cubs last week. Yeah, there's a chance for a blow-up here, but I think the Braves lineup, it's been bad, and it's a team that's clearly given up on their season. Not a ton of motivation there. I think Strider will do his end of the bargain. Hill and the Royals bullpen will do enough to keep this game under 9.5. I was expecting this line pregame to be more 8.5. So light the under 9.5 here. So Chase Burns over strikeouts, Braves Royals under 9.5. Let's start the week on a winning trend.
All right, we'll swing it over to Tyler. Tyler, what you got?
Yeah. 3 plays today, just recapping what I got. Staying in that Royals-Braves game, I got Spencer Strider under 2.5 earned runs at -135. Royals offense has not been great this season. 28th in WRC plus on the year against righties. Royals lineup majority right-handed. Strider's been pitching better recently. He'll be pitching in a pitcher-friendly park in Kauffman Stadium. So I like this. And also, seeing that Max is also on the underside makes me feel a little bit better, considering the fact that Max is on a little bit of a burner recently. So next 2 plays, I got Brewers-Cubs first 5 under 4.5 total runs. -148. Matthew Boyd versus Jacob Misiorowski, 2 pitchers with sub 2.5 ERAs. Boyd, 99th percentile for outs recorded in the game. I think you should be able to, limit the damage and just have a very clean 5-6 innings. If he gives up a run or 2, I'll be okay with that because I think that the Miz will be able to limit the Cubs offense as well. There always is the risk of, 2 of these very, very good offenses, just getting hot and completely nailing off and teeing off on a pitcher, but very confident here in this pitching matchup. And staying in that game for my final play, Cubs, Brewers, Nerfy. For those who don't know what a Nerfy is, William.
It's a no-run first inning.
There we go. Matthew Boyd is 15-5 on Nerfies this season. He's on a 5-game Nerfy streak right now. And the Brewers have not scored in the first inning in 10 straight games, and they also are 10-0 in their Nerfies over the past 10 games. So this is a team that doesn't do a lot of their damage early. They do it later. So hoping that, both of those reads on my part can help me have a nice 2-0 day on these 2 picks. And then hopefully Spencer Strider can pitch nice as well. Give me a 3-0 sweep on the day.
All right, that's going to round it out for the slate presented by VIP Play. We appreciate you listening along with us. Make sure you use the code FANRUN. That's FANRUN in all caps on VIP Play to claim $100 in bonus bets. Gambling problem, call 1-800-88. Excuse me. Oh, I lost it. Hold on. I'm coming back. Here we go. Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. For Tyler Barbaras and Max Pennell, I'm William Pattison. We'll see you on the other side for overtime.